And welcome back. I hope everyone is somewhat fortified after a late breakfast or early lunch, but you still get lunch, so don't worry. It's interesting, isn't it, that so often after a presentation, the thoughts start coming and people start discussing things and different ideas come out. I had a few interesting discussions with people during the break, such as people who thought that they certainly didn't fit in the stereotype of the female. In fact, they felt that they were perhaps lucky or just strong as a leader, an individual person, and I think that's an interesting point. We also spoke about the role of religion in stereotyping the female, and in fact one discussion came up about women in Afghanistan and people who had been subjected to untold torture and matters about which most of us will never fortunately have to experience. So it's very interesting. Do I urge you to take the opportunity to talk to lots of people when you have a break and find out their views, because you as an individual, quite apart from you as a female, will learn so much from networking and talking to people. I find it very interesting when I talk and read about people like Waris Diri, who was a Somali nomad, and she actually became a model and was in the movie, if anybody has seen it, My Blueberry Night. And she's now a United Nations delegate for the elimination of FGM, which is female genitalia mutilation. And her story is an incredible story, and a story of a very strong leader who happens to be female. And I love Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." And I know many of you have seen the banner for the day today. If you have a dream, believe in it. Go for it. Take hope that you can achieve it. Someone talked about hope and inspiration before. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve as an individual. I loved this quote from an American lawyer who says, fairly recently, "We are coming down from our pedestal and up from the laundry room." Isn't that delightful? Our next presenter, Deborah Jackson, is going to speak to you about personal and business branding. Deborah's got a wealth of experience in sales, marketing and strategic planning and marketing across a variety of businesses and industries. She has formed a marketing consultancy called Jackson Marketing, where she particularly deals with businesses and entities that work on marketing through the highs and lows, the peaks and troughs of business and hence income, and particularly deals in working with people on their marketing uniqueness. Deborah is going to talk to us today on learning how to market yourself as a successful woman and market your business to attract all the clients you need. She has divided her presentation into two areas. The first section will focus on the importance of personal branding in career management, and the second session will focus on unique marketing strategies that will build your brand to attract all your clients you need to make more money, and hence leading into our third presentation. But also, she says in her synopsis of her presentation, not only make more money, but to have more fun in your own business. And isn't that what life is about? Living your dreams and having fun. With her presentation entitled Personal and Business Branding, please join me in welcoming Deborah Jackson.
Okay, I'm going to change pace a little bit because this session is going to be all about you, and so you'll have to do some work. Okay, but first of all, I want to find out a little bit of information. Who here has their own business? Hands up. Excellent. So more than half of the room. Who here works in a corporation? Just the one? Yeah? All right. I'll try and throw a little bit of tidbits in there. Okay, when you came here today, what was it that you were hoping to get from this session? Has anybody got an objective of what they wanted to learn from this session? No? Ooh.
I think I needed a bit of inspiration to kick up the bum to make me
Get to the
like internally kick
Yes.
up the bum to get my thinking right.
Good, good. That was your motivation. Excellent.
Improve my business.
To
Improve
and you'll prove your business. Good. Anybody else?
I think I'm doing well already.
Yes.
But I think I wanted to see what the advice was, see how I measured up to. I'd like to see am I as good as what I think I am.
Oh, excellent.
Being
Fantastic.
assertive there. Not arrogant.
Very good, very good. All right, well, hopefully I can cover all that and give you a lot more ideas and tips and that sort of thing. I wanted to start today with a little story. I was walking along the street a couple of months back and I saw an old man. And he was grey and he was shovelled over and he was shuffling along. And I looked at him very quickly and I thought, oh, he's a homeless man. And then I spied his shoes, brand new Reeboks. And I went, maybe he's been sick. Maybe he's received them from a donation. Maybe he just likes dressing like that. But I made up all these stories in a matter of 10 seconds just by looking at this person. Now, many years ago, I lived in London. Many years ago. Still seems like yesterday, though. And I befriended a beautifully dressed young woman. She had everything. She had the right brands on her back, she carried the right handbags, she was seen at all the right clubs and events and so forth. So you automatically thought that she was wealthy because she looked amazing. And the more I got to know her, she invited me back to her place one day. And I was horrified and shocked to walk into her little one-room bedsit. Does anybody know what a bedsit is? You know, where you pull the bed out? She had nothing in the fridge and hardly any furniture. But in London, you didn't need furniture because most places were already pre-furnished. And I said, well, you've got nothing here, but you give me the impression that you're wealthy. And she said, yes, because I am trying to attract a wealthy man. So again, her impression to me was a wealthy young lady. Basically, she wasn't. She was just like the rest of us. But her choice was she'll spend everything on her because she wanted to attract a particular entity into her life, a wealthy man. And as they say, if you look like you've got money, you probably attract the money into your life. So who here has made those assumptions about people when you meet them the first time? Yeah. See how easy it is to make assumptions by that first impression? And for those of you who came to the seminar night a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about that. And basically, first impressions are made within the first 10 seconds of you meeting somebody and them meeting you for the first time. It's a bit scary, isn't it? 10 seconds, that's all you've got. So what sort of first impressions do you want to make? What sort of first impressions do you want to make with new friends, new business acquaintances, new clients, new bosses? 10 seconds. And they say that over 67% of first impressions are formed in that first 10 seconds until they get to know you, and of course they change over time. Some never do. And we all know that managing directors will say that one of the first things they'll hire somebody on is their first impression. So of course, for all of us running businesses, our employers are clients. And they're making that impression about you the minute they meet you or they see your marketing material. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is ask you to introduce yourselves to the person next door, and then I want you to write down the first impression that that person made on you. Off you go. 10 seconds. Or 30 seconds I'll give you. Okay, you should have swapped over by now. All right, time. Okay, now that you've met everybody, or you've met your partner, you've got 1 minute, or probably less, a couple of seconds to write down just a couple of objectives of what that first impression was that you formed of your partner. I don't know. Yeah, but being an apple, I don't know.
This is an act.
Mine's an apple, you know, and I'll talk about the reason.
Do it. Jenny works in
Marketing,
Jenny works
darling.
in character.
All right, okay. Have we got enough adjectives? All right. What I want now is to get some audience participation on what you think personal branding is all about. All right. So because that's our first session today is personal branding, what are some words that you think represents personal branding? See? Told you I'm going to get you guys to think. Trustworthy. Beauty. Image. Professional. Approachable.
People are articulate, I guess.
Articulate.
Attention to detail.
Attention to detail. Detail. Incapable. Reliable. Competent. I hope I spelt that one right. Anything else? Engaging. Probably a lot of these equals communication, doesn't it? How well you communicate. Yeah? All right. I know, I normally work on that side of the projector, that's why I'm going to be walking. All right, I'll come around the front. Okay, now, there we go. So we've got people's personality, communication, presence, image, style. Okay, so that's how we foresee personal branding. Is that how you see yourself? Have you got all those attributes? Because with personal branding, it's all about you. It's the essence of you. It's how you communicate. Not only how you communicate your ideas, but how you communicate your values. Remember, you know, big companies were started with one individual who had one idea. And they communicated that idea and it grew into large companies. You know, think of Google, one idea. YouTube, one idea. Look at them now. So it's communicating that one idea, but being true and honest and authentic about your values, about your branding. So the goal of personal branding is not only what you do, but what it is that you stand for. So what do you stand for? And making it instantly recognisable. So what it is, it stands for, it's the qualities that is true to you. So what are your true qualities? What makes you your brand? Tom Peters said in 1997 in his book, Branding You, if you can communicate your uniqueness, your value, your passions, and be authentic, and get that so clear across to your clients, you're going to be successful. It's when we confuse our messages or confuse who we are, or we go from one business idea to another, or we say that we can do everything. That's when the message gets confusing. And that's when we think, oh, our customers then start saying, well, what is it that you really can do for me? Yeah? So let's talk about some famous people. Make it easy. Richard Branson, quite a lovable, jokeable person. What's some of the adjectives that you can think of when you think of him and his famous brand? Virgin. Fun. Innovative. Let's have a look. So we've got fun, innovative, yeah? Magic? Right, it's close enough. Vision? Visionary, yep. Risk taker. Unconventional. Very. He's a bit of an anti-maverick. He changed rules, didn't he? He decided, right, all the stuffies are doing it this way, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the rules and make it a whole new game. So, do you think he's carried his personal traits into his brand? Yes? So, and that's unbelievable, because you think he's got railways, airlines, he did have music, mobile phones, credit cards.
Brides, gyms, islands.
You know.
Money,
Space travel. He's taken his personal brand across all his brands because he's always stayed true to himself and he's always had fun doing it. And a lot of the times people follow him because of him wanting to have fun. I mean, I don't think he's ever done a PR stunt where it hasn't been fun, and he hasn't had fun, and he hasn't had lots of beautiful girls around him having